So Taisha Abelard, part of her training was to go be a homeless woman in the streets of LA. Nobody could touch her because she knew how to behave like a schizophrenic to
Hmm.
every person that would try.
Right.
She knew exactly what to do with each potential opening. She knew how to shut it just by acting. And she wasn't at odds with the people that were doing this to her. If you're at odds with them, you're not going to be creative and imaginative and be able to navigate it to the degree that you would if you are, it's almost like once you become psychic, you know that's going to happen today.
Right.
And you're prepared and you go and you're more careful what part of the room you go to.
Right.
You start being aware of where your spot is. And or you get up and you go to the other side of the room just because you feel the energy. Some like it's okay to be upset and not want to deal with that today. So it's just about just all having all the options on the table.
It is, and it's also, I would imagine for Taisha that that was a very empowering experience. Like what I learned from, when
Yeah.
men cross the line with me and me staying in it and having my own back, but having the conversation, it was so empowering and developed a lot of character. And I think that by trying to sanitize how
Yeah.
men and women behave and to make all women victims and all men perpetrators, it
Right.
keeps women from empowering themselves, from developing the tools and skills to really have their own backs in what is always going to be an unsafe world because the animal kingdom is not safe. You
Yeah.
mentioned the tension between you and your wife, and it's like, that's the spark. Like, that's where attraction is. If we don't have that friction, there's
I
no
know.
magic, there's no polarity.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. And so yeah, it's just about realizing that you always have there's always a magical solution
Yeah.
in every moment. We don't always see them and we don't, you might have to switch yoga studios. You might have to move towns. You might have to, go someplace that's totally different part of the world just to heal the fact that you've been traumatized by the intensity of all that concentrated focus. So it's not always that you just have to be the warrior and face it and go and deal with it. But when you're strong enough, I know women that hitchhike through Mexico.
Wow.
They're just so free because they don't get in cars. They just don't put themselves in places that there anything can happen because they're so inside of their listening.
Right.
And it's just so freeing. This world is a dream, and it literally will respond to your power.